42. The most merciless death sentence for all the animals of the Caatinga, not excluding the most powerful predators of the Caatinga, such as the Caatinga ocelot. In the battle for survival in the drought, who will resist until the first drops of rain begin to fall? This secret is here, right in the middle of this heat, waiting to be discovered. Brutal Caatinga, the extraordinary animals that survive the drought. Caatinga. In the Tupi-Guarani language, the language of the indigenous peoples of Brazil. This name means white forest. Look at this, and you will understand why immediately. This is the only biome on the planet that exists only within the borders of Brazil, nowhere else but here. Its area is larger than that of France, but 80% of Brazilians have never set foot here and also do not know what lives within it. In the Caatinga, the drought can last more than a year. The temperature exceeds 42 grams. Each puddle of water disappears little by little, one after the other, until nothing is left. This is the adversary of all in this story. This is the drought, the Caatinga's relentless villain. But the Caatinga is not empty. Every wild animal here has its own strategy. Each strategy is a different weapon. But the true secrets, those that science took decades to decipher, lie in three creatures we are about to meet. The Caatinga does not feed the weak. The Caatinga melts, and what remains afterward is a weapon. Caatinga, second month without rain. The temperature doesn't drop. It's impossible to distinguish day from night anymore. Just a single level of heat that stretches relentlessly. Every creature that has survived until now has paid a price for it. And in this heat that melts everything, life doesn't stop because, in the Caatinga, to stop means to die. Not every weapon is rigid, but they last longer than any shell. The capuchin monkey has no armor, but when the drought sweeps the fruits and insects away from its reach, the capuchin monkey picks up a stone and transforms it into a tool. This is a learned skill passed down from generation to generation within the troop. The young observe the adults. They learn to choose a stone heavy enough. A stone that is too light doesn't have the strength to break the shell. A stone that is too heavy is out of control at the moment of impact. They learn the exact angle of the strike. They learn the weakest point of each type of hard seed. The capuchin monkey is one of the very few mammal species, besides humans, that systematically use tools in nature. Most other primates rarely reach this level of tool-making. They eat what they find directly without needing any additional tools. And it is in the Caatinga, a type of dry forest in Brazil, that this behavior is most evident, as the drought forces them to resort to it every day without exception. In the drought, intelligence is a weapon for survival. The drought cannot take that away from them. The rattlesnake, scientifically named Crotalus duricus, is the only rattlesnake in Brazil. It is present throughout the semi-arid region of the Northeast, wherever there is still shade to hide. Its venom is a mixture of neurotoxins and hemotoxins. These two mechanisms work simultaneously enough to take down a large dog in a few hours. Between its eyes and nostrils, it carries a pair of heat-sensitive snouts capable of detecting the prey's body heat in absolute darkness. Every living being in the scrubland knows, by the rattle, that everything moves in a single direction, away. The rattlesnake doesn't need to chase. A chase consumes energy that the drought doesn't allow to be wasted. It only needs to remain still, waiting for the prey to arrive on its own. When the last water source in the scrubland dries up, all the prey must return there. They all pass through the places where the rattlesnake waits. And when the rattlesnake attacks, the combat ends in a few seconds. Everyone in the scrubland knows this. Everyone avoids it, except one. The white-eared opossum, weighing less than 1 kilogram. A tiny pointed creature like a nail. BB needs water, and the last remaining puddle is precisely where the rattlesnake waits. For any other species, this would be the last step of life. In that second, the outcome seemed already sealed. The rattlesnake attacks a second time, then a third. None of them are effective. This is BB's secret. A special protein in her blood serum locks the molecular structure of the venom, preventing it from binding to nerve cells or blood cells. Millions of years living in the Caatinga with rattlesnakes, bothrops, and lachesis everywhere have produced something that no other mammal in the region has achieved. The rattlesnake, defeated by an animal weighing less than 1 kilogram. Not because Bibi is stronger, but because her blood had already won before the fight even began. The drought continues. The temperature doesn't let up, but something begins to change when night falls. Because some weapons don't work in sunlight. Some weapons only shine in complete darkness. This is the three-banded armadillo, a mammal endemic to the northeastern region of Brazil. For a long time, it was believed to be extinct. Then in 1988, scientists rediscovered it in the heart of the Caatinga. Its shell is as hard as steel. Each band of armor is a layer of keratin covering the bony structure attached to the vertebral plate in the middle of the back, allowing the entire body to curl into a closed sphere. In the entire armadillo family, only the three-banded armadillo does this completely. When attacked, it curls into a closed sphere. The three-banded armadillo's carapace is the most perfect battle armor that evolution has created in the Caatinga. But not even perfect armor can withstand drought. 3 months of drought and the armadillo must go out. It still needs to look for water. It still needs to cross the most dangerous places in the Caatinga. Another predator may be waiting on the same trail that leads to the last remaining puddle of water. The armor protects it from prey, but it doesn't shorten the path it needs to travel under the sun. The second month of drought enters its third week. The distance between the puddles of water doubles. Food sources on the ground are halved, and each species of the Caatinga begins to push its limits to the extreme. It is now that the Caatinga separates the true survivors. Every creature that still moves at this hour pays the price with its own energy reserves. The collared peccary has no special weapons. They survive thanks to the herd. During droughts, the herd can reach 30 individuals moving together in search of what remains under the dry soil: tubers, roots, bones of dead animals. One of them finds food and the whole herd shares. Quase. One of them emits a danger signal and the whole herd changes direction at the same time. In the second month of drought, this is how the herd of collared peccaries still has enough energy to continue moving each day. The giant anteater, on the other hand, has only a 60-centimeter tongue that goes in and out at a speed of 150 times per minute. And each day this tongue sucks up to 30,000 ants and termites without ever stopping. The giant anteater's claws are so strong that it can tear open a termite mound as hard as concrete in a few seconds. The giant anteater can live in the same territory for many years in a row. In this second month of drought, the giant anteater doesn't lose weight, doesn't weaken. Its strategy never fails because its food source never completely disappears. From above, the caracara sees everything. Most birds of prey depend on their high-level vision and their plunging talons. The caracara does the opposite. It walks on the ground, turns over stones looking for something, opens animal carcasses, breaks hard seeds. But among all those that survive by technique, there is one species with the strangest technique of all, the siriema. It rises on its red legs and darts away. The siriema runs at up to 25 kilometers per hour across uneven, rocky terrain where many other species dare not venture. And when it finds a snake, even a venomous one, it doesn't immediately attack with its beak. The siriema grabs the snake with its beak, pulls forcefully, and slams it against the rocky ground. It repeats, until the snake's spine breaks completely. In Africa, the secretary bird also hunts snakes with a very similar technique, using its feet to stomp instead of striking. If you've made it this far, now is the perfect time to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's about to happen tonight in the Caatinga. The largest flightless bird in South America weighs up to 40 kilograms and runs at 60 kilometers per hour. Its powerful legs are capable of breaking a puma's bones if it becomes cornered. But the rhea is rarely cornered because its speed in terrain where other species stumble is untouchable. Dusk begins to change, and when the light disappears, the power order in the Caatinga also changes completely. Because in the darkness, there is an absolute sovereign that no one sees during the day. Luna is waking up. Up above, the cloudless sky reveals a dense layer of stars, the only remaining source of light. Enough for eyes already adapted to the darkness to recognize shapes, not enough for anyone else to see what is about to happen. This is the time when most animals in the Caatinga's wilds have already completely hidden. Not every species needs a complex strategy. The tegu, the largest lizard in South America, has the simplest strategy of all. During the breeding season, the female tegu has a rare ability among reptiles to warm her own body by continuously contracting her muscles around the nest of eggs. She eats everything edible: eggs, dried fruits, insects, animal carcasses. And during the dry season, when all species weaken, the tegu devours both the eggs of other species and their offspring. This is the strategy of the perfect opportunist. In the Caatinga during the dry months, the opportunist always survives. Each individual carries in their mind a safety map built over many generations. This is their strength and also their critical vulnerability. A route repeated too many times ceases to be a secret. It becomes information that any patient predator can gather over time. Because tonight Luna has already memorized this route long ago. Luna, a female ocelot, 40 years of living in the Caatinga, have created these eyes. Eyes capable of seeing in near total darkness, weighing 8 kilograms, much lighter than a puma. Under Luna's paws are thick, soft pads that evenly distribute her body weight as she moves. Luna's ears rotate independently, orienting themselves by each sound or knock. long, sensitive whiskers allow Luna to sense the width of gaps in the absolute darkness. Luna lives and hunts alone. She shares nothing with other ocelots, except during the brief mating season. Luna has been here since the beginning of the night, waiting. Not waiting for just any animal, but waiting for that one. That's how she hunts. She has knowledge of her prey's habits. Lizard walks towards a familiar rock. The usual safe route. Always safe. Lizard doesn't know that the distance between safety and danger tonight is only a few steps. But tonight, he remains satiated by last week's meal. This is not Lizard's luck, it only postpones the inevitable for another occasion. It took her only 0.3 seconds from the jump to the end, and the whole event happened in total silence. This is Luna's ultimate weapon, the patience to wait for the right moment, the right place, the exact route that the prey itself has drawn for itself. Each successful night of Luna's hunting nourishes the entire Caatinga. What remains of the meal is not wasted. Ants and nocturnal beetles will clean up everything Luna left behind. But Luna is not the most active species in the Caatinga. Titan is on the move, and what Titan seeks is not lizard. 60th day of drought with no rain forecast, and the land continues to lose water every hour. This is the critical point of the Caatinga. After 60 days, the species, without a special strategy, begin to lose, and the top species need to make a decision. The water sources in Titan's territory have dwindled to just 3 points. 3 weeks ago there were 12. 9 water points disappeared in 21 days. For a large animal like Titan, the dehydrated body begins to reduce the volume of circulating blood. The heart needs to pump faster to maintain sufficient oxygen in each muscle group. Stamina drops before strength. That's why Titan needs to hunt more intelligently. Prey also dwindles. The puma's main prey in the Caatinga begins to venture further out at night in search of pasture. The puma hunts by using ambushes, but when prey no longer gathers around traditional water sources, this hunting strategy ceases to be effective for them. Titan cannot wait for prey to approach the old water points. Titan needs to follow the prey. This is the third consecutive drought with above-average intensity. With each year of prolonged drought, the distance traveled by the top predators in the region increases even more. But on the way to the new territory, Titan encounters someone with no intention of yielding. A boa constrictor. It's not small. This boa constrictor is almost 3 meters long, enough to suffocate an adult capybara, if given the chance. Its weapon is the strength of its grip. The boa constrictor senses its prey through the small pits around its mouth. A warm body moving nearby is signal enough for it to react in a fraction of a second. This is a confrontation that has nothing to do with hunting, and both know it. It's a boundary assessment. The risk doesn't outweigh the benefit, as the boa constrictor isn't a priority food source for the titan. It's the calculation every apex predator needs to make before every unnecessary confrontation. The brocket deer is on the edge of the dry riverbed, an antlerless female, weighing about 15 kilograms. She came here because this is the only place in the region where a little grass still grows on the remaining damp earth. This is also the only place where the smell of ancient water still lingers in the soil, and the smell of water attracts predators. The brocket deer knows this. Its ears twitch incessantly. Its large eyes sweep 310 degrees around. In the Caatinga, when the nocturnal insects suddenly fall silent, something is approaching. The first reflex of the Caatinga deer is not to run, it is to freeze. Only when it identifies the direction of the danger does the escape reflex activate. And the Caatinga deer has become the main food source that keeps the puma population alive during the dry season. The wind blows from the direction of the Caatinga deer towards the puma. This is not luck, it's a choice. The predator approaches against the wind so that its scent does not reach the prey before the distance is short enough. In less than 2 seconds, it can reach maximum speed, starting from complete immobility but this speed is only useful at short distances, less than 20 meters. Beyond that distance, the prey always has a chance to escape. The puma's bite targets the spine with precision and ends in less than 10 seconds. In nature, quick death is the only mercy that exists. The heart rate slows down after the peak of the hunt. The body needs a few minutes to return to normal before it can eat. The Caatinga returns to silence. The night insects resume their song as if nothing had happened. This is the basic contract of the Caatinga in the 60th month without rain. One meal can feed Titan for the next 4 or 10 days. Enough time to find another source of water if there is one left. Titan feeds in the darkness and on the horizon. To the east, far, far away, a thin cloud appears. Small, inconspicuous, but it is the first time in 5 weeks that the Caatinga has seen a cloud. In the coming weeks, if the old rule still holds true, other clouds will follow. Then a first rain will fall on the dry stream where the Caatinga deer has been. The cracked earth will drink the water first. The plants will sprout later, but it will come. This is how the Caatinga has survived thousands of drought seasons before this one. The first rain arrives in the afternoon. Bibi and her 3 cubs, now larger and heavier, take shelter in the hollow of a tree. The drought couldn't kill Bibi, nor her cubs. Luna rests on the rock. Her spotted fur is wet from the first rain. She doesn't need to change anything. The night's Caatinga is Luna's territory, drought, or rain, or rain. Titan is on the high rock. The rain falls on his short fur. Looking into the distance, the territory is still his. The drought couldn't take this away, the ability to change prey each season. It kept Taita at the top of the food chain throughout the drought. His territory now prepares to receive a new generation of prey when the new grass grows back. The Caatinga is the only biome in the world entirely endemic to Brazil. Nowhere else on Earth does Caatinga exist. And according to data from MAP Biomas, almost half of the Caatinga area has already lost its original vegetation. Half. The Caatinga extends across several states in northeast Brazil, occupying about a tenth of the country's territory. But only a small part of it is within official conservation boundaries. The list of endemic species found only in the Caatinga biome grows every year, but the speed of habitat loss doesn't allow science to record them. However, the Caatinga hasn't been abandoned. Some conservation areas have been expanded in the last decade. Ecological corridors linking the remaining forest fragments are being tested so that isolated populations, such as the ocelot, have a chance to exchange genes again. Research on the venom resistance of the white-eared opossum is paving the way for a new generation of antivenoms against snake bites. Proteins in the opossum's blood can neutralize the toxins of several snake species simultaneously, something that commercially available antivenoms cannot yet do. Survival isn't about the strongest animal surviving this dry season. It's about the animal that best understands what it has and knows how to use it at the right time. In the Brazilian backlands, this is already an extraordinary feat. But in the depths of the ocean, there is a no less ruthless system of predation where distances of thousands of kilometers, sub-freezing temperatures, and the pressure of the deep waters define the rules of the game. The torpedo-shaped body allows the great white shark to glide through the water. Its speed can exceed 50 kilometers per hour. Its almost absolute black eyes are not just for seeing shapes. They capture movement, darkness, and contrast. But the real weapon lies beneath the skin. Hundreds of electroreceptors around the snout are capable of detecting the smallest electrical impulse emitted by a living being, even a single heartbeat. No prey can completely hide. The serrated jaws with teeth over 5 centimeters long cut and crush in a single movement to the great white shark wastes no energy. It dominates all the waters it passes through. and these waters extend for thousands of kilometers from the warm waters off the coast of Brazil to the cold seas of North America and Europe. In polar regions, orcas hunt seals with a coordinated, almost military tactic. The entire group swims in sync, creating large waves that break the ice floe where the prey shelters, throwing the seal into the water. A group of orcas can have from 3 to 40 individuals organized in a matriarchal structure spanning several generations. Each group develops its own sound system, almost a dialect that only group members understand. No other marine predator coordinates such sophisticated tactics. The polar bear's sense of smell detects a seal from almost 1.6 kilometers away, even when the prey is hidden under a thick layer of ice. After locating the seal's breathing hole, the polar bear can lie in wait in the same place for several days in a row, almost motionless. A single paw strike at the moment the prey emerges to breathe usually decides the entire outcome of the hunt. It is a tactic with extremely high energy expenditure, but in a frozen environment with almost no alternative food sources, it is the only viable option. The humpback whale hunts in groups using the bubble net technique. One or more individuals swim in circles below the school of fish, releasing bubbles that form an invisible wall. The school is pushed towards the center, and the whales rise from the bottom, swallowing the entire mass of prey at once. It is one of the few examples of complex cooperative hunting recorded in marine mammals. In addition to its hunting skills, the humpback whale also emits a deep song that lasts for tens of minutes, echoing hundreds of kilometers underwater. It is a communication system that far surpasses the limits of sight or smell of any terrestrial predator. In coral reefs, the lionfish carries dorsal spines containing a toxin that is powerful enough to be dangerous, even to human beings. The striped and showy fins are not meant to serve, only for display. They are, at the same time, camouflage among the corals and a warning signal to other predators. When fully extended, the fins create the illusion of a much larger fish, enough to disorient prey and cut off any escape route. The lionfish hunts by approaching slowly without emitting any warning signal before cornering its prey in a corner of the reef with its own fins. The warm waters of the Indian Ocean, rich in colorful coral reefs, are the ideal environment for this patient hunt. 5 predators, 5 different seas, but all follow the same principle from which the lionfish also does not escape. It is not size or muscular strength that defines who survives, but rather the ability to exploit a particular biological advantage to the fullest. It could be the heat-resistant blood network of the shark, the coordinated tactics of the orca, or the immunity to venom of a small marsupial in the heart of the lionfish. From the arid desert to the icy ocean depths, survival is always a matter of precise adaptation. The journey for survival brings us back to the wild cradle, Africa, where the intense sun reigns and the balance of life is measured every second. Here, the most formidable predators on the planet reveal themselves, ready for the ultimate challenge with the giants of the savannah.